Hey, I'm Mark. Today we're in my garden and I'm going to show you some plants that you can grow around your house that are easy to hide in a case of an emergency. And potatoes. Um, this is a red potato plant. You can see it's a pretty plant, but you would never know that this was a potato plant or any kind of a food plant unless it's planted in the wrong row. So you can't grow. In times of turmoil, you're not going to be able to grow a garden that looks like this. You're going to have to do like a 12-foot round circle right out in your yard or plant it right up next to the house, like landscaping, edible landscaping. And everybody in your neighborhood is going to see you out there planting a round circle in your yard. They're going to think you're growing petunias or something. They're going to walk right by this plant and never know that it's a potato. The potato makes a little flower about this time. That lets you know you can reach under there and rob a little new potato. And then when the plant dies, you go ahead and harvest it. To plant a potato, you can just take a regular potato or you can buy a seed potato and you cut it to where each little slice has at least 2 eyes on it. You let it dry and crust out for a day and then you can plant it eyes up. And it grows in late winter, early spring here. And then it dies out in the heat of summer, and then you dig up for one seed potato, you're going to get 4 or 5 nice sized potatoes. Another plant you can grow is beans. It's a pretty plant. You can grow either a vine or a bush. People are going to walk right by it and never know that this is food. It's an easy plant to hide. If you try to grow corn or tomatoes and stuff, everybody and their brother's going to see it and they're going to come rob you. Another good item to have laying around in your yard is some old shells. Let people know that you're defending your place. Hey, this is a little herb garden we have. We're growing a few odds and ends, and there's a lot of things you can grow that nobody knows what it is. This is sweet potatoes, and it looks like ivy. And it will run along the ground and root. It grows in the summer. It takes about 110 days to make sweet potatoes. Doesn't require much care. And again, you could plant this. It's got to be out in the sun. You could plant it in your yard somewhere, and nobody would ever know that you're growing sweet potatoes. Bell peppers and onions, squash, pretty much everybody knows what that is, and if you're growing it and you're trying to hide it, they're going to see it. But again, sweet potatoes is pretty simple. I'm going to take you to my blueberry patch next. Another good tree you should just have in your yard, and you don't have to wait for a disaster to happen to do this. You can go ahead and plant them now. It's blueberries. They're a pretty bush. These are about 10 years old, and we pick about 20 gallons a year off of these. And they come in late spring, early summer. Real low maintenance, just keep sawdust around them or even let the grass grow up to them. You do not fertilize them. They require very little water, half inch a week is all you have to do. So again, you could grow these in your yard and pretty much nobody would know what they are until you got close enough to see the berries. Hey, we're in the flower bed in my front yard, and I planted some beans a few weeks ago. You can see they're coming up. And these are bush beans. They'll make a nice little bush about about this big, and the beans will just hang off of them. Again, nobody's going to know that they're there. It just blends in with your landscaping. If you're really trying to get a lot of production out of a small area, you can go with a vine bean. You'll get 1,000-fold return on a bean that's a vine, and it will just spread out and grow all over the place, and people just look and think that you need to weed your flower bed when it's really beans growing. Another good plant you should have just growing in your yard is a fig tree. You can see these have got some green figs on it. Another month or two, they'll be edible. The nice thing about these plants are you plant them one time, they last a lifetime. The same with the blueberries. It's a one-time deal and it's pretty much low maintenance. You get a lifetime harvest out of it. We also grow asparagus. Also, you plant it one time, lasts a lifetime. We have some scuppernongs, kind of like a grape. on the other side there, they come in late August. And then right in the flower beds, I have some pear trees. They're just 2 years old right now. And maybe next year I'll have some pears on it, but they just blend right in with the surroundings. You never know that it's a pear tree. When I grew up, my dad had fruit trees all in his yard, and during the summer I could go around and anywhere in the yard and go find something to eat. Plum trees, peaches, and pears, there was always something coming in.